it looks like we've got a real nice impulsive wave in development. As a matter of fact, this impulsive wave might be late in development and is quite mature. I'm feeling fairly confident, obviously, like I said, about wave 3 high ending there. I feel like we're looking at this as being the end of wave 4. And so what that means is that we are moving higher in a wave 5 of 5 at multiple degrees of trend. Now, it doesn't have to be an impulse wave. It could also be a diagonal. And under the diagonal scenario, it would allow for a little bit of an overlap where we would come down, cross over, and then rally again further in a zigzag type of form. We've got a 5-wave move, and we are in the late stages of a 5th wave. We would be in the 5th wave at 2 degrees of trend. Hi there, everyone, and welcome to See the Waves. And we're going to take a look at this cryptocurrency, Luna. And Luna is ranked, according to CoinMarketCap, they are the 9th largest cryptocurrency, and they go by the symbol LUNA, Luna. And so we're going to take a look at Luna and its Elliott wave count here for this video. Now, when we go back and we take a look at the weekly chart, from the low that we saw of the March 2020 pandemic low, it looks like we've got a real nice impulsive wave in development. As a matter of fact, this impulsive wave might be late in development and is quite mature. So we've got a real nice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wave 4 does not enter into the price territory of wave 1. And we are also experiencing some divergence between the wave 3 and the wave 5 high here. So even though price may work itself up a little bit higher, we would still have this divergence in play via the RSI. So that's a very common occurrence between waves 3 and wave 5. So let's zoom in on a shorter term chart. Let's take a look here at the daily chart. Now within the daily chart, wave 4 subdividing is a real nice ABC. So it looks like we've got wave 4 in place and that we are working on wave 5 higher. So how might this wave 5 subdivide? So I'm looking at a wave 1 off of the low in May of 2021 to a to the June 2021 low as wave 2. And then from there, we rocketed on higher in a wave 3. Now, things have gotten a little squirrely here within wave 4. Wave 4 really was very difficult for me to try to figure out and determine what it may look like. So I'm not real certain what that wave 4 is subdividing as. But at least up here into the wave 3 high, we have a real clean impulse wave. Wave 2, wave 4 look very similar in size and depth. So I'm very confident that this high that we see right here is our wave 3 high. Now, there was a couple of different things that I toyed around with in trying to figure out what might be going on with wave 4. So I looked at, one particular thing was, taking a look as a possible ending diagonal. And so an ending diagonal would have the look of 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and perhaps or an ending diagonal or even a leading diagonal taking place here. But I dismiss this as a possible wave count because under this model that the diagonal would begin here and the diagonal would end here in December. Wave 3 is the shortest of waves 1, 3, and 5. And so therefore that breaks one of Elliott's rules and eliminates that as a possibility. So although it kind of has a shape of a diagonal, I'm eliminating the diagonal as the possibility here. So I went back to the drawing board, and one thing that I'll do is I'll draw a parallel. So if you draw a line across the wave 1 and wave 3 high, cross it over at the wave 2, and you can get a sense of where wave 4 might end. Well, in this case, I was using it to determine, where wave 4 may be at within an already existing pattern, and I was looking for price to cross over this support line, and sure enough, it did. And so that's what helped tip me over the curve that I believe wave 4 is ending here at that late November low. And what we have for wave 4 is just some type of a wonky mess. It's not a triangle pattern. It's not a triangle pattern because this peak that we saw in early November is higher than the peak that we saw in October. And so if that were the case, that would have to be your B wave high. And it just has a non-normal look to it. That would be A, B at the high, and then we come down here, do a C, D, E. So wave C, D, and E are just really, really small and tiny compared to wave B and even wave A. So I don't think this is a triangle, just some type of complex correction that's going on. We don't have to know what the pattern is, just to recognize where the larger pattern may end. And so I'm feeling fairly confident, obviously, like I said, about wave 3 high ending there. I feel like we're looking at this as being the end of wave 4. If you like what you see here, go ahead and press the subscribe button, hit the like button. That way you'll be alerted when new videos are produced. And so what that means is that we are moving higher in a wave 5 of 5 at multiple degrees of trend. And so therefore from this low, we want to look for some type of motive wave to unload to the upside. So that means an impulse wave pattern or a diagonal type of pattern. Now, if there was going to be some type of an impulse wave, then prices would need to hold above this black line because under this model, we would be looking at something like, let me get rid of that. We'd be looking at something like this where we have a wave 1 here, wave 2, wave 3, and if this were to be wave 4, it would need to terminate above this black line if this were going to be an impulse wave. Now, it doesn't have to be an impulse wave. It could also be a diagonal, and under the diagonal scenario, it would allow for a little bit of an overlap where we would come down, cross over, and then rally again further in a zigzag type of form. And this is actually what I'm leaning towards for 2 reasons. Number one, there's just not a lot of real estate left here for Luna to navigate an impulse wave 4, rally in wave 5, and then be done. So that's one reason. The other reason is that if this were a series of 1-2s, waves 1 and 2, so 1, 2, and then if we were to get another 1, 2, and then 3, 4, 5, if this were to be an extended third wave, the problem I have with that is that some of the other patterns within cryptocurrency do not appear to be running away to the upside. And so therefore you would have Luna running away to the upside all by itself with a lot of the other crypto markets not following along. And so I would relegate that as a lower probability, but we're still going to hold it out there as a possibility, and that instead of this being wave 3, this is just wave 1 of 3. Okay? But we're going to hold on to this idea of a possible ending diagonal pattern that I have scoped out right here. So the good news about this ending diagonal pattern is we will know exactly where we are wrong with this. Okay, so if I measure out the length of wave 1 and project it down here at the end of wave 2, what I'm looking for is that equal wave relationship. So where would wave 3 be equal? And it comes right up here to it. As a matter of fact, I'd have to, even fine tune to see if we overshoot it. But and so we'll need to do that math a little bit later on. But let's assume that wave 3 is shorter than wave 1, and it looks like that might be a possibility. If wave 3 is shorter than wave 1, then that means wave 5 would have to be shorter then wave 3, and so therefore that would put a max up here around $143 a coin. And so we're sitting at 100 right now. I'm sorry, we're sitting at 86. So there is the possibility of further rally to take place in Luna, but I feel like it's going to be relatively capped, because remember, if we zoom this out to a weekly chart, okay, we've got a 5-wave move, and we are in the late stages of a 5th wave. We would be in the 5th wave at 2 degrees of trend, and that pretty soon this 4-hour chart would be unloading itself into a 5th wave itself. So that would put us into a 5th wave at 3 degrees of trend, and that would put us very near the end of a large rally, and therefore we would need some type of a large correction to unfold. So I think Luna is one to have an eye on. It seems to be doing quite well, but it appears to be living on borrowed time at the moment, and that some of this frothiness may need to be recovered. So that's all I've got here for today within this video. I want to wish you all the best of luck in your trading. We will talk to you soon. Take care. Bye now.